MacKay. This is the STV News at 6. The accused maintains the killing was a robbery gone wrong. Other stories tonight, a family's fury. The Prime Minister apologises for apparent errors in his letter of condolence sent to the mother of a dead soldier. Take that for a wedding. Mark Owen marries his sweetheart at a Highland hideaway. Good evening. A jury in Glasgow has been urged to convict a man of a race.
So that's basically it. I'll not expose you to the whole 19 minutes because I know you all watched it last night, every single one of you. Okay, good. So yes, that's what we do. We are the ITV station in Scotland, basically. There's a whole lot of politics around that, but that's essentially what we are. I present the programme, have done for the last pretty much 15 years, but on my own for the last 3 or 4 years. I had no expectation of doing broadcast journalism. I did want to be a journalist. I was fairly lucky when I was at school that I knew I wanted to be a journalist. I thought about doing various journalism courses, which, and we're talking more than 20 years ago now, there weren't so many. I decided to go to Glasgow University. The university newspaper had a good reputation, and I thought editing that would be helpful, and then possibly doing a postgraduate after that. I was lucky enough then to get a job with a local newspaper, the Sunday Post, which had a huge circulation in Scotland at the time and has actually kicked off a lot of the careers of a lot of journalists in Scotland, and I think I managed to do that probably very much in the strength of having a degree, first of all, but also having edited the University Guardian. I then worked there for a year, went to the BBC for 7 years as a news trainee, working across radio and TV, and for the last 15 or so years I've been at STV working in the news on what was Scotland Today and what is now the STV News at 6. I'm now what you call an anchor. We're based in Govan, and I appreciate the fact that the locals obviously highly regard me, because a lot of the younger ones call me a total anchor, and that's kind of, I appreciate that, you know. It's kind of, I like the fact they respect that, you know. What I'll show you, I do a video blog as well as presenting the news. It's good. I can't tell you the audience it has, an international audience of sometimes into 3 figures. So it's, but I'll discuss that later, because I think the internet is something obviously that is increasingly relevant to all of you. So that is basically my career path. How you would do it now is not entirely dissimilar. You have all shown an interest in the first place. If you haven't, if you're still thinking about whether you should get involved in the media or not, and wonder how to go about doing that, well, the sooner you start, the better, and don't be shy about it. Absolutely get yourself involved. Send articles to papers, magazines, blogs, online, all of that stuff. Do all of that. Try to get work experience in newsrooms. You can do that either by going through editors. If you can, best of all, if you can identify a reporter that you maybe know, or you admire their work or something, contact them directly, rather than going through some HR chain. If you can contact somebody directly, your chance of getting work experience is improved greatly. And key to all of that is when you do that work experience, make the most of it. It is incredible the number of students we have in who sit and do nothing, literally do nothing for 2 or 3 days. The ones who will make an impression are those who get involved, who ask questions, who keep showing eagerness. And I don't mean in an irritating way. We've all been where you are. We know that what it is, how difficult it can be, and we appreciate that people want to learn. And I would emphasize that point, because there are so many people who come into newsrooms who sit and gaze, and nobody's asked me to do anything, and read the papers all day, check Facebook, you know, tweet whatever it is they want to. And I do know about tweeting now, actually, which I'll come to in a moment. The point is, make the most of it. That's what I would say. I don't know what degrees you're doing. A lot of people do media degrees. Media degrees are very popular now with colleges, universities as they are, trying to get money. They know they've got a lot of people in for media degrees. Personally, I'm not entirely convinced of the quality of a lot of them. You get people in who can't spell, who don't know what a story is, and you're wondering, well, what have they been doing for the last 3 years? It's probably more advantageous to do what you're doing, which I assume most of you are doing if you're at Glasgow, is just a general degree with perhaps thinking of a journalism postgraduate degree. But you can do your degrees, you can do everything. What you need to do is show willingness, getting involved in the newspaper, getting involved in GUST, getting involved in anything, getting your name out there, getting stories written, and getting some sort of idea of what the craft involves. I'm get that uncomfortable feeling I'm boring you already, so I think what we'll do is we'll just go to questions straight away. So I don't sit there as journalists and not want to ask questions, because that will get you absolutely nowhere. So, who wants to ask questions?